This is the Carty Method Podcast.
Hey, welcome to Portfolio Lab. This is the Carty Method. Every Tuesday and Thursday, I review your photos. The goal is to help you get to the next level with your photography. So I'm helping you develop your work. I'm helping you develop your work into the level that would make viable sense as a commercial photographer, which a lot of the photographers who are watching me here are trying to be pros. I hope you are one of them. This is Portfolio Lab. This week, this is Thursday. Thursdays, I give you an industry level assignment so you can actually start shooting the stuff that the pros do and start getting the work that the pros get. This is week 22. And for week 22, the assignment for you was reflections. And I asked for a horizontal picture. The goal this week was for you to create a horizontal image that uses reflections as the main central storytelling element. For people photographers, capture a subject reflected in glass, water, a mirror, through something. For places shooters, highlight architectural or landscape reflections to add depth and intrigue. And if you shoot things, use reflective surfaces to showcase products in a creative way. And I'm asking for a horizontal double page spread. This is why this matters. Mastering reflections elevates your visual storytelling, allowing you to add complexity, mood, and creativity to your portfolio. So there were, I don't want to say a lot, but we had like 15 or 16 submissions, but a couple of the submissions we couldn't include because of formatting. So my team posts the exact formatting with every single assignment, meaning 4,000 pixels wide. The size is so imperative that you send me a picture that's 4,000 pixels wide, which means in Lightroom or Capture One, process it as 4,000 pixels wide. Super easy to do. And there's tons of instructions within the community to show you that. And also following the brief, especially on Thursday. Like if I'm an art director or a photo editor working for a magazine or a design firm or an advertising agency, and I ask you to shoot a photo for this campaign that makes sure it includes reflections. In fact, the art director would be on set. The art director would be on set with you and checking frames and seeing how it's going. Have you ever shot with somebody on your shoulder, basically over your shoulder, like checking your frames and like basically watching your ideas? I mean, most of the time it's positive unless you don't know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, becomes quite a negative experience for the art director. And also you'll never get hired again, ever. And art directors talk and they move from agency to agency. So you don't want to be the photographer when your name comes up. The thing that's attached to it is this photographer can't follow a brief. You can't follow a brief. You just do what you do. So there's a couple of photos because they didn't follow the brief that we didn't include. And understand this, editors are not going to accept incorrect formatting, incorrect sizing. So my team doesn't accept incorrect formatting and incorrect sizing because we're training you for what the industry is like. So again, we have, I think, 12 or 13 submissions. We are starting with Mr. John Kopok. John says, reflections help to give volume and perspective to a room and make a shot of an everyday place more interesting. Shot with the RP 16 to 35 f4 at 16. ISO 250 f7.1 at 0.8 seconds. This is 3 images, naturally bracketed, natural light bracketed, and possibly combined in order to get us this amazing image. This is John Kopok. John, thanks for submitting, my guy. This is an image, my guy. This is something that feels editorially correct. The lines are really straight. The exposure is really straight. And how did you hide yourself? I mean, I know the angle of incidence equals angle of reflection, but it looks like we should see you in this mirror and we don't. So for me, that's the magic of photography that you're really delivering. I want you to look at how this lays out as a double page. There's some small things that you could be doing as far as where you're dropping, like this line here, for me, should be dropped right, like meaning just move this over a little bit so the gutter drops right there. This center stuff here, perhaps we like separate, move this a little bit and move that a little bit, or we push this so this line is exactly there on that gutter. The towel is okay, but I feel like this towel could have been styled a little bit better. We're seeing the tags and all of that stuff on that side. I mean, again, I don't mind how the towels are styled. I don't mind how it looks on that side. Yeah, but there is some things sometimes that shooters do just a little bit of cleanup. I mean, you could take this outlet out, but for interior design, you kind of need to show those outlets. There's a scale underneath here, which you can kind of push that way so it's out of your frame. But overall, John, this is a yes for me. This is a yes. Really, really good use of reflections, like an incredibly good use of reflections. Like, this is one of my favorites of yours. This is fantastic. My only thing is how the towels are styled. That's my only thing. As you can see, there's no triangle on these towels. So these towels I would also like to see this way, and I feel like that's going to just make that a little bit cleaner. Really good effort. That is John Kopok. John. It's an 11 for me, if that wasn't clear. Well done, John. All right. Starting the show off with a bizang. That is John Kopok. This is Jordan White. Jordan says, for this assignment, I wanted to keep it clean with a bit of mystique. I kept the right side open for text. This is A7 III 100mm macro, ISO 125, f13 with a 2.5 second exposure, softbox, and ring light. This is Mr. Ooh, you don't get to see that. Sorry, not my notes, Carty. This is what we're trying to do. This is Mr. Jordan White. Jordan, your level up between last week and this week, I mean, you were shooting Converse last week. This is such a level up. But it's about the placement. I know you're focused on this, and this. Okay, but this logo, the Christian Dior logo up here, is way too high in the frame. And I want you to see how this looks and how high up in the frame it is. And then you're also composing on the thirds, which I talk about quite often, is don't compose on the thirds, because when you compose on the thirds, like you're doing, you're composing exactly on the thirds. Yes or yes. And I talk about this. This makes a double page spread not work. So the grid that you have inside your camera, Jordan, is lying to you. So every week I say this. Every week I say, if you're shooting like double page spreads, you have to divide your frame in half and then in half again. So you're dividing your frame in quarters. You see the difference as to when you shoot on the third, how it doesn't translate to a double page spread. It doesn't. I say it every week and I see it every week. So this you have to lock in. This overlay, lock this overlay in. You cut your frame in half. And in fact, what we're trying to do is we're trying to make quarters. So you cut this frame not in 3, but you cut it in 4. And then you put your important stuff on the fourths. meaning on this axis or on this axis. And you don't put anything important on the gutter. We watch how high up in the frame that our stuff is going, and try not to make this like so virtually centered. Like, you could have dropped this Savage down and we didn't need to see the end of this drip. Like, you could just cut right here. We know there's a drip. I see it all over the place. So in you trying to be super literal, you didn't place this product in the right place within this frame. You're also aiming quite top down on it, meaning you're like aiming down on it, which means your lines aren't straight. The lower the horizon, you can still get the feeling of reflection. But again, because of the way that you were trying to reflect the text, why are you so locked into reflecting the text? Why not lay the bottle flat, do a top down, and then we just see a reflection underneath? You know what I mean? There's different ways for you to use reflections. It doesn't have to be so literal. And I think in you trying to make this so literal, it really hurt your composition. But again, it is definitely a level up for you. It's an 11 for you, because I know that the technical aspects of this photograph are way higher than anything that you've done before, Jordan. So I'm giving you props for that, and I want you to know that I recognize that. But at the same time, once you raise your bar, well, it creates other problems. It creates other problems. Once you raise your bar, well, then now I raise my bar as far as the way that I'm judging you. Right? Like, so you continually are growing. This is such a jump from the stuff that you were doing with Converse, Jordan. But this photograph, just need you to redo it. That's all. I need you to recompose it. But it's so good. And it's so close, guys. That is Jordan White. Well done, Jordan. Holy moly. Good shit, Jordan. This is Denise Tuggle. Denise says, shot this in studio. D850, 24-75, ISO 100, f8 at 1/60th of a second. Shot with a single newer strobe and a single softbox. This is Denise Tuggle. Denise, well, this is so good, Denise. But I want you to know one thing. This image, I have to show, like, this image is a square. This image isn't a horizontal or a vertical. This image is a square. And I'm going to just briefly show you, but I don't want to preview anyone else's pictures. So I'm just going to briefly show you this picture's a square, Denise. It's not a horizontal image. Now, I know perhaps you didn't have black that goes wide enough, but in post, you can extend that background in order to get that square that, no, Denise, you don't need to reshoot. Denise is saying, sorry, I'll reshoot. This is a fantastic image. You don't need to reshoot it. What you need is just help extending your canvas. This frame is excellent, Denise. Like, I want you to know this is a really great shot, but I want you to know that it's not formatted the right way. Like, the picture ends, and you can see the hint. The picture ends right here, right? So because of that, because the picture ends right here and right here, well, it's not a vertical or it's not a horizontal. It's a square. So you just need to, in post, fix that. And you can do that, and you can learn how to do that so easily. Capture-wise, this is a very good image. I want you to see how this lays on a double page. And for me, you can see it's a little central. So what I would want to do, Denise, for this image is I would want it to be larger. And I would want it to perhaps go across 2 pages this way. Maybe just a little smaller. Maybe go across 2 pages this way. Or perhaps, oops, I can't move it that way without changing the picture, but perhaps it's on this side. It pushes over this way. But technically, Denise, this is one of the best photos that you've ever done, girl. So I don't want you to be like, I got it, I'll reshoot it. Like, no. This is incredible, Denise. This is like,
yes or yes.
Oh my God. Look at how well done this is. Like, this is really, really well done, Denise. So I just want you to do a little bit of posties so it's framed properly. But holy moly, Denise, you hit this out of the park. You hit this out of the park. This is fantastic. Fantastic. Okay? Fantastic. Now, do you remember? Hey, Devin, welcome. Denise, do you remember what I said about just shooting one thing? Just shooting one thing. Just shooting one thing and getting like really insane. Imagine for the next month, you're shooting Coca-Cola bottles and cans for the next month. Now you're going to have a Coca-Cola portfolio. Like this, like, and by the way, after a month of you just shooting bottles and cans solo, like, and trying shutter drag and trying reflections and like after a month, you're going to have like a Coca-Cola portfolio. And then you bring in Sprite. And then you bring in Budweiser and you bring in Miller and some beers. And like, after a while, you get so good at shooting beverage because that's what you're obsessing over. It's what you're obsessing over, right? So does this photo not look like somebody who has been obsessing over shooting Coke cans for the last while? This is what this looks like to me, Denise. This looks like obsession. And you, Denise, are starting to realize it takes obsession on not just photography, not just product photography.
Yes or yes.
Okay? Not just photography, not just product photography. Product photography that's only shooting food and beverage, and specifically only shooting drinks. And also in the containers, not in glasses yet, just the containers. So when you hit it that way, that makes you hockey stick. Because now how your progress goes, because this is how your progress is going before. Your progress was going like this because you were doing all kinds of different things. As soon as I started to zero you in, you're now going like this. And now that I've really zeroed you in, you're going like this. Like, you feel that, right? Like, long time with almost, it felt like for you, I'm sure, Denise, no progress. But then I tuned you even tighter. Like, I tuned you tighter. Then I tuned you tighter. And now I have you focused to a point. So now you're focused like this. Like, it's photography. And then it's product photos. And then it's cans. So now you're sharpened to a point. And now being sharpened to that point, what you learn being this focused now penetrates. Now, once you're this focused, then you can work back upwards. Now you can start adding things in because you're establishing your style. You're establishing your rules. You're establishing those things that I talked about on Sunday. And by the way, if you haven't watched Sunday's episode, how to find and build your photographic style, that episode was one of the best episodes that I've ever done. And if you haven't watched Sunday's episode, oh my God, what are you doing? Sunday's episode was crazy. Denise, I'm so proud of you. This is a yes for me. Yes, 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 Denise. Yes, you almost have my heart rate. You almost have my heart rate at 100. Almost at 100, Denise. Proud of you. Proud of you. My team works very hard. My team works very hard on you, Denise. And again, my team meaning Garan, meaning the cartel, everybody who is a part of this Carty method on the admin side works incredibly hard for the photographers who are part of this. I'm hoping that you all feel that. That was Denise Tuggle, everybody. This is JV. I wanted to shoot this kid's cologne. The only reason the box is as a fill to get the label visible inside the shot. Okay. A6700, 40 millimeter, 2.8, ISO 100, 1/8 of a second at f16. AD200 Pro with a strip box. This is JV. Jay, thanks for submitting. So this is definitely a creative use of reflections. Where we're losing it is the light and the overall exposure on this scene and the light on this bottle, hot spots, you know what I mean? Like it's close, but again, you can see the way that the stance, like it's leaning a little bit weird. And again, that's because you're shooting with a little bit of a wide angle lens, and then you're pushing this this way in the frame. So your lines, like we have this line as a reference, right? Like that line's our reference. So you're doing something creative like this, you have to be really deliberate, and you can't, when you're trying to do something like this, you have to be insanely deliberate. And Jay, I'm going to show you a photographer because I love the references. You know me, I love the references. I want to show you like how and these are all self-portraits. So I want to show you like how far people take ideas like this one that you're giving me. Okay? So look at how people are using mirrors and scenes. Like this is multi-layered, and it's very, very, very exact and very, very, very deliberate. Okay? So when we're doing an idea like this, we're trying to make it not look like we're just playing around. You know what I mean? And I know you haven't been submitting for a while, Jay. And the thing is I notice that you haven't been submitting for a while because you were on a trajectory, and then now you're trying something new. You're trying something that's a little bit different. But again, you can't try things without references. You have to look at visual reference to see people who are using reflections in a way that is so profound that it actually would make your work better if you looked at it. Like if you see this photography and you realize this is all self-portraits. This model is the photographer. This is all her work. Okay? So if you see how far this photographer is going when it comes to using reflections, you realize that it's like, okay, shit, I could try way, way, way harder. I could try harder. Do you know what I mean? So this is Zigzian. And JV, you can see the lines, exposure, how busy, like there's just the elements for here. And then even just the subject matter, the Lion King, kids, perfume, like it's just not it. Like I want you to look at what Jordan White did. Jordan pulled Dior. So he's trying to do a perfume as well, but he pulled something that's a little bit higher end, a little bit more desirable. Pulling like a kid's fragrance for me is not the maneuver, because it just doesn't hit as hard as it could. So for me, the lighting, yes, you're using a reflection, but I really want you to push way harder with this. We're shooting for a portfolio. This is client work. I want you to treat this like client work. For me, if this was for the Lion King perfume for Disney, go find references of advertising. Like, do they advertise this perfume? And again, of all the perfumes in all the world, why that one? If you want to learn and practice per shooting a perfume, why that one? So these are things you have to think about, Jay. I hope that helps you. This is JV. All right. Malik Brand. I shot this. Okay, there's too much text, bro. Can't read it. Sorry. Sony A7 III 35mm 1.8. By the way, guys, I need one sentence. One sentence. If you're sending me, hey, I went here and I did this, and it's like, it doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Show me the photo. You know me and you know my eyes. You can't put anything past me. I know how you lit it. I know exactly the intention when I see the photo. So one sentence, just give me context and then I can look. I don't need the novel. And I encourage you to read the submission guidelines. The novels, what they do, I'm going to explain it to you. Number one, they slow down me. They slow down my being able to review the amount of photos that I have to review when I have to read your paragraph. That's this big, okay? Number two, it slows down my team when they're doing show prep. They're doing show prep. So it slows them down because they're copying over your paragraph. And that takes more time with show prep. So if you read the submissions, it says one line about your photograph: aperture, shutter speed, ISO, camera, lens. Like, that's all I need. Everything else, you know that I'm giving. Most of the times when it's big paragraphs, it's bad photographs. I want you to lock that in. Usually, when it's a big paragraph, it's a bad photograph because you're trying to sell it to me, okay? And this is not what this is. You can't sell to me. You can't sell anything to me. I've been in the game for too long. So, single sentence and the information that we're asking for. I do not need a paragraph. Malik. All right. This is Malik Brand. Malik, thanks for submitting. This photograph, reflection, okay, but what tells me that it's a reflection? What tells me that it's a reflection other than the perspective? It could just be a camera lens aiming up and shooting a self-portrait. You could have just put your phone on the ground and put the self-portrait mode. You know what I mean? If you're shooting this into water or something, show me the environment in which that is existing. Show me the environment in which that's existing. Compositionally, it's strong, Malik. It's compositionally strong. It's from a unique perspective, but I don't have context, meaning my brain is racing, trying to figure out, like, is this a puddle? Is this a mirror on the ground? Like, what? Like, how is this happening? Okay? And I want you to look at a way, like, I've made a picture that's very similar to this. Let me just do a little quick scan. I know it's not, here it is. So look at the difference. Do you see how your mind is instantly resolved and you know exactly? Well, first of all, you can't figure out how I'm not in the picture because I actually shot this picture. You can't figure out how I'm not in the picture, but this resolves everything because I see the frame of the mirror. I see the frame of the mirror. So that tells me that I'm looking at a reflection. Okay, if I just zoom this all the way up, So you just see that, like what's inside that picture. Yes, it's a creative angle, but there's no context as to the how. So that's what you're doing for me here, is you're zoomed in so much that I don't have the how. And then my brain can't reconcile what's happening here. And do you know what happens then? I swipe away. That's simple. We just swipe away. So if you're going to use such a radical perspective, as if the viewer is lying on the ground and you're looking over them, okay? Because you have to remember, our photographs are not about us. You have to lock this in. Our photographs are not about us, okay? They're not about us. They have nothing to do with us, the creator. Our photographs are not about us. They are about only the viewer who sees them. That's it. They're only about the viewer. Number two, this is a photograph of you. So if it's a self-portrait of you, is this a self-portrait? I'm not sure if this is a self-portrait. So I won't assume. I kind of feel like it's not. But what we need to be reconciled is how. And like I'm doing in this photograph, this is the best way to use, because then it's multi-dimensional. For this, because it's only one dimension and it's in a reflection, it makes it just look like a lower quality, low angle photograph, which for me is not enough for what we're trying to do. I hope that helps you, Malik. Like, again, my hope was for you to, and Malik says it's a friend of his. Thank you. And so I'm like, I don't think that's Malik. But yeah, Malik, that's all I need you to do is just pull out a little bit to give me that context. Show me the mirror. Show me a little bit behind the fifth wall. That to me is what would take this to the next one. Malik is saying that this one was a rough one. It's like, listen, you have to go in with a reference. Like, that's, if you go in with no reference, you end up getting what you get. When you go in with like, this is what I'm trying to achieve, and you have a visual reference to refer to, it becomes so, because you're using, like, this is why we use intelligent imitation. It's about using and remixing ideas that work, that are proven to work. Photography is infinite and you can do anything. And because of that, there's no constraints. And when there's no constraints, creativity needs constraints. Creativity demands constraints. That's why I give you a brief, so you know exactly what you're to achieve. But at the same point, I leave enough room within the brief for you to hang yourself. You know what I mean? So it's really important for you to use my peer group, use the community that I provided for you, so you get other people's opinions before work gets to me. This one, Malik, this is close, but and compositionally strong. But I feel like if this is a puddle or whatever, or mirror, like, you got to pull back and tell us what it is. Just give me a little bit of that. I would have made this just a little bit more oomph. All right. I see you guys asking all kinds of questions. If you guys have questions, you can definitely just do Command Q, like this, in chat.
Question.
And then it alerts me that you have a question. This is Sedgwick, William Sedgwick. Can't thank you enough. Getting more paid gigs as a direct result of the Carty method. Thank you for saying so. Thanks for your review. This is shot natural light, Sony A7 III, 85mm 1.8. By the way, people who watch me make money. People who pay me make 10 to 20 times more money. People who are in my system, paying for me to review their photos, paying for my Pro Accelerator, which, by the way, my Pro Accelerator applications are due on Saturday. And the application is phase 0. It's super simple. Do phase 0 And if, by the way, if you go to thecartymethod.com/accelerator, if you do that right now and watch my info session, I'll give you phase 0 for free, and you'll get an offer code for like 100% off that if you watch the info session, and you'll learn everything that you need to know about how to get into this next round of my accelerator. All right, Sedgwick shot natural light with a Sony A7 III, 85mm 1.8, ISO 100, f4 at a 200th of a second. This is William Sedgwick using reflections. William, I see what you're doing. This is close. I feel like there's also a size issue here. Is there a size issue? I'll check to see, but compositionally, yes. And yes, you are using reflections, but I want you to look at some of the other work that you've been seeing today. We know that this is street photography. This is you going out with your son, but making a picture with intention while you're out. So I see what you're doing and how this happened. And I mean, even the location. Malik, thank you for the $2, my guy. Malik Brand with the donation. Let's go. Thank you for super chatting. You're very welcome for the feedback, my guy. I appreciate you. So Malik, appreciate you. William, this again, like, I know how far you can go and I know how good you can shoot. And I'm trying to really separate you into the place where you're making pictures only. You're not taking pictures. But you got the right, he's wearing the right outfit. He's got the right kicks on, and he's got the right logo bag, and he's wearing the right outfit, and he's got the Miami Heat and the official NBA basketball, and it's in front of these other kids playing in the window. It's just a little messy, bro, with these like string lights that are kind of dragging down. This is like childlike art, which again, yes, makes sense, but it's just busy with the blocks and like I see what you're doing, but it ends up coming and feeling like it's just on that edge of just being street photography. And what we're trying to do, William, and where I'm trying to take you goes beyond what we're doing here. It's compositionally strong. Like, you really did lay this out as a double, like, quite well. But you can see if you're actually laying it on in a double, then the gutter goes here and you move this over here. So this is actually the center. So you're actually in between and you show more of that window. And then you center him in front of that. You know, but again, for me, this just isn't the location. Like, if you're going to try this idea, for me, it's not the spot for it. There has to be, like, for me, I would take him to a basketball court, buy a big bottle of water, dump the water on the basketball court. So now you have like a puddle of water, which will act as a reflection, and then have your son playing basketball and then shoot him partly in the reflection, partly in real life. You know, so you're using a real spot where he would be wearing that clothes on a basketball court, and it's contextually correct. Here, he's just holding a basketball up in front of glass because you told him to. Because you told him to. So to me, this doesn't hit as hard as it could. But again, William, that's why we're here. We keep tweaking. We keep tweaking until we get to that level that we're making pictures that are stopping the scroll. That is William Sedgwick. This is Bernadette Kellerman. A7 III f4 ISO 400, 250th of a second. Thank you so much. Bernadette, you were one of the people who submitted a picture that wasn't the right size It's not 4,000 pixels wide. 4,000 pixels wide. Process it out in Lightroom as that, or make a high-res TIFF, retouch it in Photoshop, and then in Photoshop size it down to 100 dpi at 4,000 pixels, and then submit it that way. If your images are too small, then the quality to me on my 4K monitor, I need it to be full screen on a 4K, and if it's not, then I can't really judge it. I can't see focus. I can't see the stuff that I need to see in order to really give you a true critique. So size is a very important thing. This is Bernadette Kellerman. Okay, Bernadette, this is not following the brief or doing a reflection assignment. This is street photography, and although done with intention, is not what I'm hoping to help you develop. Like, if you're trying to shoot street photography, like, this isn't the channel. This isn't the channel, because there's no value here. And this isn't to hurt your feelings, but I'm number one, there's no reflection in this picture. There's no reflection. And what's happening here is not classified as a reflection. So then what we're shooting is this poor homeless lady here with a bag of garbage and this, and people just walking around doing their stuff. So then my question for you is, who would hire you to make this photo? Who's going to hire you to shoot this picture? Who's the client here? And what client is going to want to show garbage, homelessness, and decay in their messaging material? Which client is going to want to show that? So in that case, this is one of those pictures that I don't take, because it's not for anything. We do applied photography, meaning this picture is for this type of a person, and that type of a person can see the value in me because they see that type of photography applying to their needs. If, when you're shooting a picture, if you can't answer instantly, who would pay me to shoot this? Why are you shooting it? This is one of those situations, Bernadette, where A, it's wrong size, B, not following the brief. You're not making pictures, you're taking pictures, and you're never going to get away with taking pictures. You're never going to get away with it, because there's no value in taking pictures. Everybody who has an iPhone takes pictures. So you have to get away from street photography. You have to. And I know getting away from street photography, I'm going to quote Courtney Turner, getting away from street photography is sometimes hard for a street photographer. But understand this. All you need to do is just tune the idea of street photography into lifestyle photography, and now you're making $1 million a year. And let me show you what it looks like when you curb street photography into lifestyle photography. You're actually going out with specific people, and you're hand picking the people, you're dressing them, but then you're shooting it in a loose way. Hand picked. All of these people, this is for advertising, but shot in a loose way that looks like you're just taking pictures, but it's stylized reality. This is big, big, big money. But do you think that this guy just went to a cafe and found these perfect people and caught this picture? This is stylized reality. So you're never going to get the level of work that photographers who get paid get by walking the streets and getting what you get. It's not going to cut it, Bernadette. This will never be something that fits in your portfolio, and it's not going to be something that gets work, because you're showing garbage. You're showing garbage and homelessness. And again, this is a problem in many cities. But do you want to work commercially, or do you want to work and show like social issues, which is documentary and blah, blah, blah. But those photographers are all broke. Okay. They're all poor. So do you want to make money, or like, what are we doing photography for, Bernadette? Is it art or is it commerce? Like, this is art and commerce, and the beautiful blend of art and commerce, but just with a little tweaking, you can be doing this. With just a little tweaking, you can take street photography into lifestyle photography, and lifestyle photography pays in a way that you can't even wrap your head around because it's so hard to do. But again, this is stylized reality, created. This is a set. These people go to this location together with Jeff, and he creates these pictures that look like they're just happening naturally. This is all created moments. So you can't just find these. Bernadette, I hope this helps you, but I need you to try harder when it comes to submissions, understanding the brief. And again, I want you to remember, you're doing this for you. This isn't for me. This isn't for me because I already have it on lock. I already am doing the work that gets work. You want to be getting work, you have to make work that is desirable, work that attracts people, not work that makes people want to look away. And I promise you, if you show homelessness, garbage, poverty, things that people see, like, we use photography to escape. I want to escape that stuff. Show me something cool. Show me something that is not about the woes of the world. And also, are you a negative person or are you a positive person? I'm a generally positive person. So when I approach the world, I'm seeing the positive things and trying to photograph the positive things and bring those to light. Now, if you're showing the negative things, then you're just bringing negativity into the world through photography. And I don't think that that's what you're trying to do. But this high level frequency of this way that I'm talking about this, I'm a creator, and I'm also your competition, who is just another photographer. Imagine what clients think, and it's their multi-million-dollar brand. Imagine how serious they are in this kind of minutia thinking when it comes to what photography says about their brand. So for me, this is a no-go, and it's not following the brief, and there's no reflections. I hope that helps, Bernadette. All right, this is Kyle Kiono. Sony A7 IV 50 millimeter, ISO 6400, quite high in the ISO. Kyle, I'm going to say this. LED lights are not enough light. LED lights are not enough light. I know you're struggling with finances, but you can't be pushing ISO 6400. Like, you can't. It creates noise and it lowers the quality of your images. Like, you should be trying to shoot as close to ISO 100 as you can. And again, learn how to walk before you run. You continually try to light things, and I need you to learn how to expose things properly, which happens in natural light. You don't know how to find the right conditions, natural light, but you're lighting and you don't know how to light yet. So, Kyle, and here's Kyle Kiono. And Kyle, what ends up happening is you end up executing ideas like this that, guess what? You pick up the mirror and take it outside. Shoot him outside. Because look at the noise that you have. Like, I see the noise. I see noise, because you're shooting at ISO 6400. It doesn't need to be this noisy. Kyle, you could have taken this into your backyard and shot this picture. He's smoking a cigarette, so there's no reason for him to be inside. Do you know what I mean? And then when you're looking at the lines are kind of crooked. And again, it's close. Like, I appreciate it. It's close. Oops, let me see the whole picture. It's close, but still, you're using LED because you're in a room that's too dark to shoot. So just go outside. Go outside. And again, like, you're The cigarette is so important, but that's not the assignment. The cigarette's not the assignment. Are you shooting for a cigarette company? Are you shooting for a cigarette company? And then also, how often do you see cigarettes in advertising or editorials? Like, it's kind of like, it's not a thing. People hide the fact that they smoke. So why are you showing a cigarette? Do you know what I mean? And then when you're looking at this, what is the actual idea, Kyle? Is he propping this mirror? Is he placing this mirror? Is he looking at like all of this, the words that you're saying, like in your text when you're trying to justify? And again, he's trying to quit. I don't get that from here. I don't get that he's trying to quit. I don't get that from this picture. So for me, it's like there's a gap between your idea and what this is saying. So if you want to look and make a trying to quit photo, then you do quit smoking and you punch that into Google. And Google says this. Google gives you images and shows you what quit smoking like stuff looks like. This is what it shows you. And notice that you don't see a lot of faces. Do you know what I mean? You don't see a lot of faces. And most of this is like, so if this is like, is this the space that you're trying to work within? Do you know what I mean? So for me, it becomes like the idea of shooting this guy and basing it around quitting smoking. You have to go harder. You have to try harder so the picture actually says what it is that you're trying to say. And at the same time, you're trying to layer that in on my assignment, which is reflections. So they're like, anyways, Raphael, understand you can't say to somebody should have done a double exposure, one with him and one, like, you can't say should have, because you're a photographer. So that's what you would have done, right? We're all individuals. Like, you can say, here's an idea. You can say, here's an idea, but you can't say should have done. Because again, you're not in the position in your career for you to be telling another photographer what they should have done. Yes or yes? It comes, when you speak like that, it comes from a place of knowing and ego. So deliver it in a different way. Say, here's an idea, and then and don't even say this is a great idea. Just say, here's an idea, and just put it out into the universe neutral. When you say should have, that's like this. So we're all photographers and we're all trying to do the best that we can. When someone else's work is coming up, should have is not how you start a sentence. Try that with your girlfriend. See how that goes. So Kyle, for me, this is a bit of a miss. You're trying to do too many things and you need to seriously watch your ISO. I'm going to give you a rule. Your rule from now on is you cannot go above ISO 1000. That's your rule. You can't go above ISO 1000. That's it. That is your limit. And what you should be doing is trying to stay away and be lower in your ISO. So that's what we're trying to do here, Kyle. I hope that helps you. Lower your ISO. And if you can't shoot under that ISO, that means the conditions that you're shooting in, your composition, you're looking for backpats. Your composition, okay, yes, your composition is okay. But okay or good composition without good idea is useless. It's just masturbation. If you're just doing composition without idea, composition and idea work together. And in fact, idea is more important than composition. Okay? Idea is more important than composition, because an idea, a good idea, you can give that idea to anyone, and 1,000 different photographers can give their interpretation of that idea through their composition. But if you're looking for back pats on a composition, on a weak idea, that's like you're asking me to stroke you. You know what I mean? And I'm hoping that you're an adult enough to not need that. I'm trying to explain to you idea first, execution after. That's it. Idea first, execution after. Weak idea, doesn't matter what your execution is. It's a weak idea. I hope that helps. All right, that is Kyle Kiono. Thanks for submitting, Kyle. And again, bro, I'm trying to turn you into a diamond. Diamonds are from coal. And you think of what coal looks like. It's not sexy. And pressure. Over time, the right kind of pressure, the right kind of positive pressure turns you into diamond. But then now you're a diamond, and guess what happens then? You have to be polished, because a diamond in the rough, have you heard that term? A diamond in the rough? That is talent, which you have unhoned. Unhoned. So that grinding on each edge to sharpen and make you have clarity, that's what Portfolio Lab does. That's what we're doing here for you and for you at home if you're watching. And if you submit, well, that now I'm actually able to give you direct help, which watching me coach someone else is helpful. Yes, but it's the equivalent of like you have a bellyache, but your friend also has a bellyache. So then he goes to the doctor and gets a diagnosis because you have a bellyache. You're like, okay, what did the doctor say? And now you're thinking that my diagnosis for him is going to work for you. You know? Hey, from Ukraine. Thank you, Ashton. I appreciate you. So understand this. It's like everybody has to be diagnosed themselves. There is no general diagnosis. I mean, photographers do have a tendency to make the same mistakes, but we all need our own individual doctor. We don't go to group doctors. You know what I mean? So this is why watching me review someone else's photos helps. But if I review your photos, it helps like on such a trajectory. It just depends on how much time you have. You know what I mean? And when I'm telling you directly, it hits and resonates way more than when I'm speaking to someone else and you're listening. So, yeah, like literally, you can imagine these portfolio reviews could be private. They could be literally just for the photographers who's submitting. Like, that's it. The reason I do it publicly is because you need to know that this happens. And like art directors, designers, consultants, like coaches, like this is how we look at photography. This is how I look at photography. And this is how I break it down. And this is how I develop photographers into full-time pros, which I've done for hundreds of photographers. And in person, at least I've put at least 60 photographers full-time in Toronto because of me, easily. All right, this is Kevin Curtis. Kevin says, I got to borrow this Porsche GT4, never heard of it, last night and scoured the town for buildings with mirrors. I like this location because it allowed me to catch some passing traffic as well as practice a little bit more with a new strobe. Shot with the Sony A7R4, Sigma 50mm 1.8, ISO 50, f8 at 6 seconds with the newer Q30 strobe. This is Kevin Curtis. Kevin. Reflections. Let's see how this lays out. Like, this is environmental car photography, which is very tricky to do. Kevin, this is a tricky shot, bro. You got a lot of things going on here. You have the long shutter speed with the car lights trailing. You definitely have a reflection, but the reflection is not what I would call the main part of your picture. I wouldn't call this a reflection only picture. It definitely has some other depth, but I like it. You know what I mean? For me, I like it. It's hard because of the lines. It's really hard to get the lines straight because you're on a bit of a hill. But your exposure is good. Your exposure is good on the car. Let's just have a look at the focus in on this baby. The focus is good. When you're getting in on these longer shutter speeds, you got to really start going like a little tighter with the aperture, which just gives you a little bit more tolerance, because you can see we have like a little bit of softness in the car. I can't tell if that's the file size that you've given me, but even at there, it doesn't look quite as sharp as it could be, and I think that that's just because of the longer shutter speed. The lines, the crooked lines, are because it's like on a hill, and because this reflection ends up being higher than this, and this reflection appears like it's on an angle, it kind of throws you. So I'm kind of on the fence about this picture. I like it though. I'm gonna give you love for this, Courtney, because you're non-linear. I want you to watch how tight your GT4 is to the edge here. That's a little tight, but you got good spacing here, Courtney. Is there some doubling that's happening here? I'm seeing some doubling happening here on the edge, Courtney. Here. I don't know if this is multiple exposures or what's happening, but you see what's happening right there. And when I bring this picture back to full screen, you can see it's happening very so slightly right there on the edge of the picture. Just not sure what that is, but definitely correct that. Yes, this is... oh, this is Kevin. Sorry, Kevin Curtis. Kevin, this is really close, man. Kevin, this is really close. Apologies for calling you Courtney. I'm looking at Courtney's name in chat. Kevin, yes, this is a level up, my guy. Just watch this. Watch that in the nose. And again, whenever you're shooting on a road that's a hill like that, it just makes it a little tricky. So see if you can get that on a straight, like, I don't know, see if you can go it again with this car. I'm giving you an 11, as I said, Kevin. Keep swinging. I want to keep seeing stuff for you. Keep seeing stuff. And again, show me some, yeah, it's Kevin Curtis, I know. Yeah, just show me some stuff that, like, show me some more stuff from this. Show me something else on Tuesday. I'm anxious to see what else you shot in this day. That is Kevin Curtis. Let's get it on. Sorry for messing up your name, Courtney Turner. I have a lot of people shooting Porsches. you got a lot of people shooting Porsches. I'm trying to keep track of it. All right, so you guys know my Pro Accelerator is the ultimate 18-week camera to cash flow challenge, and my Pro Accelerator is starting again soon. I have been working on this accelerator for a year. And over a year. It's a year and a half now. All you need to do is go to thecartymethod.com and /accelerator and sign up. Just put your email address in here, and what I will do is I will send you the info session. Okay? Know this. We're looking at applications starting on Saturday, which is 2 days from now. Go here, give me your email, click this so I can send it to you, and let me send you this info session. All you need to do is phase 0. Phase 0 is the application. Maybe you've done phase 0 already. My accelerator is the probably the coolest thing that we do here. This next round, we're doing a 6-week sprint and then 12 weeks of support. So, like, I'm so excited about this, and it's something that I'm trying to turn you into the top 1% of photographers out there. The photographers who are in my accelerator, you can read what these guys or listen to the videos that these guys are talking about, the people who I have been helping. Really, I just want to help photographers live their ideal life, making a living at photography. My Pro Accelerator is the fastest delivery of the Carty method. The Carty method system, my 6 phases, My Pro Accelerator is the fastest way that I can get that information into your head. But if you want to do it on your own time, you can also do the Carty method system on your own. And there's two ways to access this. This should show you all the different things that are within my system. It's two different ways to access it. You can get my system with Portfolio Lab, or you can get it with Portfolio Lab and Pro Lab. Now, my accelerator, the thing that's cool about my accelerator is my accelerator also includes Pro Lab and Portfolio Lab. So the only thing about my accelerator is this is an application process. The people who I let into this, they usually end up being my top people. So I'm just specific, and I want to make sure, like, you could be one of those people. So do the application, do phase 0, and I'll give it to you for free if you watch that info session. I want to see you in there. Applications are due on Saturday, so hustle up and get on it right now. All right, that is my Pro Accelerator. This is Jay Tracy. Jay, I also think that your shot was small. It was not the right size. So submit more often so we can lock that in and talk with calligraphy. He spends a lot of time making it so you have the exact instructions as to submitting, as well as inspiration. So Jay Tracy says, thank you for your time and your expertise. This was shot on location underwater. ISO 800, 1/4000th of a second at f4, shot with the Sony a7R III. This is Jay Tracy. And Jay, you see how size is a factor with your picture. And I can't actually make it bigger. And when I am making it bigger, I'm seeing like I can't judge this quality because I can't see if this is bad Photoshop or what the water is doing. Do you know what I mean? I can't look at a picture that's this size, and I can't review a picture that's this size. So showing you compositionally this as a double, you can see that it's biased quite close to the gutter. For me, this is a vertical picture that you're shooting horizontally, but I can't lean too deep into the review, Jay, because I don't like the size. It's such an important part of the requirements of these assignments. This is how big your photo is. And because of that, I can't actually see all the fine details. What I can give you as an overview is compositionally, it's too literal, it's too dead center. You need to shoot vertical sometimes when you're underwater, because there's not a lot of photographers who shoot vertical underwater. I haven't seen it a lot, but I'll tell you, it hits incredibly hard. It hits incredibly hard because now you're shooting covers. And for me, this shot, the body position, what she's wearing, the crop, like there's nothing that's interesting for me about this picture. You've shot way better than this, Jay Tracy. You've shot way better than this. This is, for me, this isn't it. You got way better stuff. So I hope that helps. Make sure you nail the sizing. And yes, aim higher, because my bar for you is much higher than that, Jay. All right, this is Chris Fosta. For this week's assignment, I shot the Nike Giannis Immortality 4s just after the rain on a local basketball court. Very well done. R5. This is the thing, like Giannis Antonomopoulos. Giannis shoe. He's a basketball player, but shoot his shoe on a court, an outdoor court, after the rain to to get the reflection assignment. Like, I haven't seen the assignment, I've seen the result yet, but the idea is strong. The idea is strong. Shot the R5, 85mm 1.2, ISO 100 at 1 second, f11, shot natural light. This is Chris Foster. Chris, let's get it on. Chris, this is a good execution. It's clean. It's minimal. Let's have a look at... The only thing is, like, we don't really get a sense of it's a basketball court without this reflection. And it's like, yeah, but that's what I was trying to do. Okay, so for me, drop this down so I see this like a little bit more here. I understand you're putting it at the same level as the shoe. The reflection of the shoes is great. You can see this is just a little, this is just a little close to the toe here compared to here. This line here, this wet line, like for me, I would want to wet the whole thing. Like just have this whole thing wet, because now it becomes like, again, I'm going to have to zoom in a little bit, but now it becomes, that's the background, right? Like just, there is no line. That's the background now. So then was there a way? Go get a water bottle. Go get 3 water bottles. Wet up the ground more so you can join. Look at this. You see how you see this little bit of reflection there? Imagine you get water, buy a 4 liter, right? And then what you're able to do is you're able to join this puddle with this puddle, and then this, which ends here, you can see that reflection. That reflection then would have continued the whole way. And then now I actually see that this is an upside down basketball and court and like backboard. The other thing is you move downwards, but you're like, yeah, but the water ended there. Bring more water. Bring more water. What's stopping you from going to the grocery store, getting one of those 4-gallon jugs that they flip on top to like glug, 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 glug. Just buy one of those and then rip it off and pour that water all on your scene. Do you understand when they shoot motion pictures, they have something called a water truck? What is the water truck responsible for? The water truck is responsible for keeping the ground wet on all of the night shots, because wet grounds reflect light and it makes night video, night movies, night TV look 1,000 times better. Try to find a shot, a scene, a movie shot at night where the ground isn't wet. Find one where the ground's not wet. The ground's always wet. Why? Because they use a water truck. They spray the ground because it just makes video and film and photography look amazing. So in this case, Chris, you bring your own water. You bring your own water. You bring your own water and you literally fill that gap. And now you actually have you can fill this whole area with water. Now it's giving you the reflection that you need. And then you make this photo. So now that I've told you that water thing, you're now not dependent on rain. You're now not dependent on rain because you can actually do this idea with just a jug of water and outside on a sunny day, even on a sunny day. Just put your own water down and then there's your photo. What do you need rain for? So, notice how often the ground is wet when you're seeing any music video, TV show at night. Any car seat, ground's wet. Did it just rain always? Water truck. So you have to bring your own water truck. This is close, Chris. So I'm going to give you an 11 on this one. But I just told you how to make this better and how to bridge this reflection here all the way across. So now you really know we're on a basketball court. You really know we're on a basketball court because that reflection is bridged. This is a very good swing. What you're going to end up doing is making it again and making it 10 times better. But I'm very impressed with this swing, my guy. Good job. This is Chris Foster. Also, watch this front. You see the tongue on this one? And the tongue on this one. You see the tongue here is pushed back a little bit. So just watch. Just make sure that you have that structure in the tongue here. For me, that tongue needs to get pushed up a little bit on the left shoe. Small thing, but you know me. I see everything. This is why we're here. All right, that's Chris Foster. Our last photo of the day. Our last photo. This is Samuel Salling. Samuel, Sony A7 IV, 16 to 35. 2.8 shot at 35, ISO 100, f11 at 30 full seconds. 30 full seconds. This is Samuel with reflections. Well, Samuel, you gave me a postcard, my guy. For an architectural photographer, this holds up. This holds up. Yeah, this holds up. Let me look at this as a double page. I would have wanted to push. This horizon is too rudimentary on the 100%, like just on the 50% like axis there. I want that horizon low here, but there's no point in having the horizon low. You know why? Because there's nothing interesting up there, which means we have to have the horizon high. But we can't have the horizon high because it's going to cut off our building, and we're an architectural photographer. So what we need to do is raise it so the building ends right there. And that means we have to raise the horizon line to about here from where it is. And then what it just visually gives us a little bit more bottom. Again, it's a small thing as far that I'm talking about, but still relevant. You can see where where you're dropping this bridge. Oops, give me a different tool here. Dropping this bridge like a little bit more that way, so the bridge was centered within that space. You can see here versus here, and then now this building. And this building, making sure that those are centered is super important. Where this is coming in, like, could it be coming in a little bit more this way? Could you have walked that way a little bit more and come in a little bit more that way? I don't know if the location allows, but these are all the things that I'm thinking about as to how to make this photograph even better. As far as it following the brief for an architectural photographer, the light bursts, I love the super long exposure. This is really technically like perfectly done, Samuel. So I'm going to give you some love, and you are incorporating reflections in a really unique way for your niche. Still, I mean, I still think that you can push so much harder. And I still have other photographs that you've made for me recently that I like more. Only just because this feels a little touristy, just a little touristy, and a little easy for a photographer at your level. I feel like you can do stuff like this within your sleep. So it's close. I'm going to give you a yes. I'm going to give you an 11. But again, only because, like, I have you up here, Sebastian. Like, this for me feels a bit easy for you. I would like you to try to use reflections in a more difficult way, is I guess my like nudge. That's all. You did a great job. That is our last shot of the day. Samuel Salling. Let's get it on. And now let's talk about photos of the week. And also, by the way, it's Thursday. You know, every Thursday, I'm gonna break your brain. Every Thursday we do Portfolio Lab workshop, which means it's on Zoom. It never goes on YouTube. I put a couple on YouTube, but they're too good. They're literally too good. And today I asked one of my team to do a demo. This person, his name's Garan Rath, and Garan is a insane product photographer. He's very good, and I've been coaching Garan for over a year, and Garan is an assassin. He's so good. This guy's so good. And his website, again, I gave a review of his website. He just completely updated and listened to absolutely everything that I said. Garan is a product shooter. And if you look at his product photography, it is crazy. So what Garan is doing today during Portfolio Lab, our workshop, is he's doing a live shoot.
And I asked him if he would do this, and he is, and I'm thrilled. So here's an idea. Garan has been working for me for like 8 months or something like that. Garan works for me now. Like he's such an ace. He's such an asset for me, and he's such a great coach. Like he works for me now. You can literally now book not just time with me if you're trying to be coached. You can book now time with not just me, but you can also book time with one of my team. So book an hour with me, you can book time with Garan, and you can book time with Nick. So I'm expanding this Carty method thing, and I have two incredible coaches. So guys, so Garan, what he's doing is Garan's doing a live workshop. So this is my idea. Garan uses this program called Set-A-Light. And that basically, it can't even articulate. You can basically, on your computer, like you're playing a video game, you can pull a Coke can, put a softbox angle, and it shows you like exactly what the photo would look like with like whatever light you can come up with. It shows you exactly what it looks like, and it gives you exact measurements, angles, and all that stuff. And then you can just build that set based on what this program has told you, and then get exactly the same light. It is mental. So Garan uses this program to make work like the work that he makes. Like Garan uses this program to make these ideas. So he knows exactly where he has to put his light to get these effects. So he builds his ideas in Set-A-Light first, and then he shoots them. So just that alone is so mind-bending that I wanted him to explain it. I wanted him to show us. And also, because Garan is working his ass off for me, it's been taking time away from him doing his own photography, doing his own work. And although it's off season for him, still, I want Garan creating work. So I'm like, okay, Garan, we're going to just sit and hang out with you as you formulate an idea, figure out exactly how you're going to light it, and then he just moves the camera over to the studio, and then he shoots it. So it's like we're going to get to watch Garan build a product photo today. So it's dope. That's happening at 2:30 on Zoom. At 2:30. We are keeping the time always at 2:30. I used to move the time around a little bit, but always at 2:30. You'll get an alert if you're in Portfolio Lab. And by the way, the only way to access this is to join Portfolio Lab. Not only do you get 8 photo reviews a month, but you get 4 times a month with me on Zoom in a workshop set. Like, it's mental. And also all the other photographers who are in Portfolio Lab. It's so sick. So for $47 a month, like, it's crazy. So, yeah. Anyways, join, please, because it's like every week I get to see new viewers, new people who are watching me. Every week I'm seeing new people in this Portfolio Lab workshop, and it's so dope. I'm so into it. So please keep coming. All right, this is our photos of the week. Starting with John Kopak with the big swing. John, you killed it. You're proving yourself to me, my guy. This brings me joy. This is a yes. This is a photo of the week, John. Congratulations. Like, John, let's go. Let's go, bro. Next photo of the week. This guy. This is such a level up for this shooter. I notice, okay? I want you to know, I notice. This is such a level up. You listen to my critique, but still, this is a photo of the week. Let's get it on. Jordan White. Jordan. Well done, buddy. Very, very, very well done. remember what I said. You still have to shoot it again, but you killed this, Jordan. Like, really. Like, holy shit. So good. So good. So good. Photo of the week. For Denise Tuggle. Let's get it on, Denise. Holy moly. Yes, it's a square. Yes, it's formatted incorrectly, Denise, but I can't take this away from you. I will not take this glory away from you. You killed this assignment. Killed it, Denise. I am incredibly proud of you. You really did it. It's Denise Tuggle with a photo of the week. Well done, Denise. So good. So good, Denise. I'm dreaming of a white photo of the week going to Kevin Curtis. Reflections, week 22, photo of the week. Well done, Kevin. Well done. Crazy. All right, photos of the week. We got 2 more. Photo of the week goes to Chris Foster. Chris, you are like a learning computer. I like the way that your brain works. You are like a learning computer. If I give you an input, you give me an output, is the way that I'll say that. If I give you an input, you give me an output. This is photo of the week from Chris Foster. Very, very, very well done. Hey, Malik, we miss all the shots that we don't take. You took a shot, you missed, but that's all right because you know what you did wrong. And your swings next week is going to be way better. I have so much faith in you, bro. Seriously, worry not. I'm not worried. So just be better. That's all. All right. And our last photo of the week going to Mr. Samuel Sal. Samuel. Well done. Well done. Well done. So, very well done. I do have a single best in show today. Just one. Best in show, the best of the day, my favorite. This goes to Miss Denise Tuggle. Denise, that's a best in show for you. The level up for you is noticeable. There's no question that you're growing. Like, how far you've come, Denise. Denise, listen, I'm going to explain it to you like this. And by the way, Denise, congratulations on Best in Show. Denise, I'm going to explain it like this. If I took this picture and took this slice of time today and showed it to you last year, and I said, this is your photo, you wouldn't believe me. Yes or yes? If I took this photo and I cut this piece of time and I pulled it backwards to you a year ago and I said, this is your photograph, would you believe me, Denise? Like, your progress, John, you're very welcome, brother. You're very welcome. Your progress, Denise, I get emotional about it because I have my whole team working on you, you know? Like, I have Garan, like, helping you daily. Like, you have hockey sticked. Like, you're on this trajectory now. It's not this trajectory. You're on this trajectory now. So the fact that you have the capacity, the understanding, and the technical knowledge to make this photo, this brings me joy. The fact that you have the capacity, the technical knowledge the technical expertise to make this photo, I think if I showed you this photo 12 months ago, you would say, that's not my picture. There's no freaking way. No way. And now look at you. So, there is no impossible. It's just the difference between you right now, where you are and where you want to be. The difference, that is called your potential. And my only goal is to close that gap between where you are and where you want to be. But it takes work. It takes an immense amount of work. And sadly, not enough photographers are committed to doing the work necessary to being a professional photographer, which is why all you need to do is the work and you win, because your competition won't. Your competition are lazy. Your competition don't have me in their corner. They don't have me. Your competition isn't seeking feedback. Your competition isn't seeking feedback. Your competition isn't trying to constantly get better, because they think that they know it all. The fact that you're here and you made it to the end of this episode proves that you know that you don't know it all. And to think of the kind of ego that you have to think that you know all there is to know about photography. How big is your ego for you to like see my thumbnail and be like, photo reviews, I got it. Like, not even click. Like, think of how big your ego has to be. So the people who find me are a certain type of people. And I'm so happy that you watch me. I'm so happy that you found me, because I'm so dedicated to you and your success. And I hope you feel that. Do you guys want next week's assignment? Do you want next week's assignment? Because I think next week's assignment is pretty important. It's Thursday, and Thursday is the day that we post the assignments. Now, if you're smart, you were here on Tuesday, and Tuesday, I told you what this assignment is. So you actually knew it. You would know it 2 days ago. So you would have had 2 days to be working on developing this idea. Today, I'm going to release the assignment publicly. It's going to get posted, and you can start working on it actually. Week 23, next week, is minimalist week. Minimalism. I want you to create a vertical image that uses clean lines, negative space, and a limited color palette. You really need to read this brief and dial in this brief. And when you're in my assignment folder, read this 3 times before you think you're going to go out and shoot something. For people photographers, capture a portrait with a plain background and minimal styling. If you shoot places, I want you to focus on a single architectural or natural element. Focus on singularity. And if you shoot things, isolate a product or an object against a simple background. This is a vertical, single page cover. This is why this matters. Minimalist images, they cut through the visual noise, okay? Which showcases your ability to communicate with clarity, discipline, and restraint. An essential skill for high-end editorial and commercial work. Like, I don't want to see everything and the kitchen sink in your photography. Like, minimalism. If you look at my work, I am a minimalist when it comes to my photography and when it comes to the elements within my photos. I'm singular. I'm singular with my compositions. There is not a bunch of stuff in my pictures, because editorially it hits so much harder, and I shoot editorially. So when you look at my work and see my work in the wild, you can see the reason as to why my work works and why minimalism works. It's because like you can just see like the subject first before anything else. You see the subject first before anything else. So the reason that my work works is because I also know that a majority of my work is going to be shown with text on top of my photos. I know a majority of my work is going to be seen with text on top of my photos. So how does that work if your photos are also busy? If your photos are also busy, then your work doesn't work with text, and therefore your work doesn't work in the industry, and therefore you don't get hired. So there's a method to my madness. There's a reason that and there's also rules to how I shoot. If you haven't watched Sunday's episode, if you have not watched Sunday's episode, let that be the thing that you do next. I am giving another shout out to Denise Tuggle for Best in Show, reminding you all that Denise was, if you saw the before, and Denise, I'm going to do a case study on you because the before and after with your photography is like your first picture of like the seashells inside the dish compared to this, girl. Like, come on, Denise. Guys, that is today's Portfolio Lab. If you would like to participate in Portfolio Lab and be a part of this thing that I'm building here on YouTube that no other YouTuber is doing, and I'm not a YouTuber, I'm a photographer first, by the way. Photography first. YouTube is a courtesy, is the way that I'll put it. It's a business, yes, but it is a courtesy that I do for you for free here 3 times a week. Plus videos, and there's a video coming out for tomorrow. Hope you guys will watch it. Yeah, I do my best to help you. I hope today brought you value. And for those of you who are smart enough to be a part of Portfolio Lab, I will see you in 45-ish, 50 minutes inside Zoom for Portfolio Lab. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching.
This live stream was brought to you by Pixpa, the best website builder for photographers and creatives, and Indie, the best way to run your freelance business, and by you, the members and subscribers of the Carty Method. Consider becoming a member for $5 a month to show your support for our content, and we'll reward you. You get members-only content every month, and Carty has the best emojis on YouTube, and you'll get that crown badge next to your name. If you're building a photography business, make sure you join Portfolio Lab. How ready are you to be a pro? Take the Carte Method Pro Photographer's Readiness Scorecard. You'll always find helpful links in the show notes. Sharing is caring. If this content has brought you value today, share it, clip it, post it to your socials. Curating and sharing helpful content makes you an expert. Even if the content you're sharing isn't yours, be a curator and share this content with your network. Find your creative and business genius with the Carte Method.